All right, so the video today is how I run my fuel lines. All right, so I'm running it fuel lines. So from the tank all the way to the fuel rail. So if you look down here, I got my fuel filter down there, and from the fuel filter it's going to this line right here. And I went ahead and I used this. The other one, that 3SX sales cover on here, didn't fit, so I ended up using my AN6 line, which I think is a little bit bigger. Now for this rail on the back, I went ahead and I used this one. So I looped it all the way back around and come back over here. My fuel pressure regulator is sitting right here. So everything is here. Then for my return lines, is all the way over here and go down. So I use a heat shield to cover the fuel line in the back so it doesn't get too hot, anything like that. And then I use a heat tape to tape the lines also. Now for my shifter cable, if you notice, the rear manifold is literally sitting almost on the shifter cable. So what I did was I went ahead and I wrapped the cable also with heat tape. And then I went ahead, and these right here, you could get these off for any car. It's like these, like for the underneath. You go to the junkyard and get these off of it. You could cut them, or you could buy them online. I went ahead and I also wrapped it with that, and I went ahead and I put another sheet over it. It can't be too safe because when I first did my single setup, I went through 2 shifter cables because I didn't know any better, and I thought it wasn't gonna melt, and yes, it did melt. So this is how I do my setup. So there's a close-up of it again. So these are my runners for the front, and these are runners for the back. Let me see if I can get you a close-up, but that's it. So the biggest issue I had with this car when I was doing the first setup, if you go on my Instagram page, which is at Black Mamba Stealth Instagram, if you go on my Instagram page, you're gonna see maybe 2 or 3 different setups that I had for this car. The first setup, it was fine. I made about 450 on it. The other setup I did, it's kind of running the same power, but I was having issue making big boost or big power, because if you look on the rear manifold when it's dynoing, that manifold back there is red hot, but this one is not. So I was having issue with the manifold in the back, so the front will always offload the back. So I took everything back off and I did everything by specs, as in this right here, not even an inch off, but the front one and the back one is literally the same size. I make sure I squeeze it in as much as I could to get the front and the back to match, so both of them would be flowing the same way. And the 3000, that's like the biggest issue. The rear headers doesn't flow that good. The front always flow the back. So I got that figured out and went back to the dyno, and third pull made 700. So I got that fixed. The pipes, these right here, I went bigger also on these pipes. The ones I had before was way smaller. So for V6 is like, it was choking up a lot, so I had to do a lot of changes to it to get it like that. So this is how I have my turbo key set up. So it's not that hard from here all the way to there. Literally, that's all it is. But you have to get everything right, because if you don't get it right, remember you have the radiator hose sitting right here. You have to get it right, so it cleared that. And what I did was, after when I got it built, I had to switch the radiator hose. So this end would typically be down here, and down here would be up here. So I just flipped the hose, so everything would just clear. So that's what I did on that part. I had the coil unplug set up before, and I was having some issues. Whatever, I ended up took it out and put this back in. Believe it or not, I made the power on the stock spark plug wires, and these are stock core packs. Well, it said it is low performance, but I don't really see a difference. But I don't have any ignition box or nothing. I didn't have no spark blower or anything. Everything was fine. So I'm running the stock core pack, stock close to stock spark plug wires. Spark plugs, I think I'm gap around 15. I think I'm maybe a little bit low. That's where I'm gap on the plugs. What else? Boost controller. I'm running a solenoid, so I'm directly to the running to the ECU. So control the boost from the ECU. I'm running flex fluid sensor, but my sensor is not up here. My sensor is actually close to the tank and the return line. The fuse box. Right here, you're gonna have some thick plaskets that holds the wire. I took my plaskets off, and then I was able to get the fuse box to drop all the way down here. I didn't want it here, because I would be sitting in front of the turbo, so I dropped the fuse box down here, so I have a lot of clearance. And I'm running skinny fans, so these works fine for me. I'm running the AC fans on both sides. So instead of having a big one right here, running the AC fans, you don't have to go and buy no fancy shit unless you choose to do it. But AC fans run just fine. My car does not get up to temperature like other cars. It runs super cool. This car has to be running for at least close to 45 minutes for my car to get up to high temperature, like really hot. So these fans works magic. So I'm running both AC fans and there. What else? Again, the throttle body kit. I'm running S90 throttle body. All right. So this is how I did my throttle body cable, which is sitting right here. Is so loop here, and it's sitting right here. All I did was make a little small bracket that could have bolted onto the shock tower, and I welded 2 bolts here to where I could screw it down to. It doesn't go anywhere. So you can use a stock throttle body cable and you'll be fine. And again, this is not the prettiest weld, but it works for me. I was having an issue, anything over 30 pound of boost, these would fly off. So I went ahead and just put a V-band on there. So I have a V-band here, and I think I have another one under the car. What else? Okay. Oil feed. Do not do your oil feed line from the front. Okay, you know, on the twin turbo, you have 2 oil feed. You have one from where the oil filter housing is. You have another one from where the oil pump is in the back. You use that one in the back. I was having issue using mine. I wasn't getting enough oil flow when I did it in the front. So do it in the back. So the oil feed line runs all the way to the back, for where the oil pump is. So that's on the oil feed. The oil return here is to the front of the oil pan. So all I did was blocked off the one in the back. Okay, you know you have 2 oil returns, so block the one in the back and use the one in the front, and that's fine. You good work with that. Where the oil feed is in the oil housing in the front, you just block that off. Or you could use an NA one if you want to. But if you use an NA one, it's hard for you to use the oil cooler. So you just block that off, and you could just block off the feed. Where the feed is, you have another spot there. You just block that off, and then you get the feed from the back. What else? Yeah, I'm running a smaller belt. Let me see if I can show you under here. If you look here, I don't have any AC compressor. AC compressor is out, so I'm just running the just alternator and tension and stuff. So I want a shorter belt. and I still use the same bracket that came on the tensioner to adjust it. I didn't get the one that 3XL. All you have to do is you could use the same one that you have, get a shorter belt, and you'll be able to tighten it the same way, and it will keep the belt. Or what you could do is drill a hole in the bottom of it, so instead of the bolt is coming down, it's going up, and then you could adjust the belt that way too, and you'll be fine. But man, it's real simple. Well, for me, it's simple. I've been doing this for a while. The block is fully built. I'm gonna have to get the papers, so I can show you guys what pistons, rods, and stuff that I use. I have the built. I have it in a paper somewhere. I have to look for it. So, block is built. The head is ported a little bit. I did it myself in the garage. Nothing fancy. I'm still using the first gen wire harness, but the second gen. But I'm using the first gen harness. You could flip flop if you want to. I could literally turn this back into a first gen if I want. If you come on this side, all you have to do is remove this, take the valve cover off, remove this cap right here. It has a bracket that goes on there where you could put the first gen cast and the sensor on. You could take it back off, block it off, and turn it back into a second gen. First gen harness, where this sensor goes to, all you have to do is literally wire it up for it to work with the cam and crank sensor, and that's what I did. So you don't have to go out and buy no second gen harnesses or nothing. You could run a first gen harness and a second gen engine, a second gen harness and a first gen engine. It's really easy. It's not that hard. What else? Running a twin disc clutch. Running a one-piece carbon drive shaft. Precision. I think it's a 6.7 turbo. No, 6.7 turbo. I think this is Precision 44 millimeter wastegate. For the coolant reservoir, I deleted from here. I'm running the coolant reservoir right here. You can't really see it, but it's right here. But what I did was, everything right here is first gen. I didn't change the headlight buckets or nothing. If you notice, the headlights still fit just like second gen. This is a first gen headlight bucket. It did not change. I didn't replace it or anything. My wells are still there. If you look at the first gen and look at this, you see I did not change anything. So you could turn your first gen into a second gen without you replacing the headlight buckets. I also have videos on my YouTube page where I show you how to wire up everything and change it also. I think that's everything. I'm running an AEM-V2. When you run an AEM-V2, you don't need a MOF sensor. Stop MOF sensor, you throw that shit away, you don't need it. You're gonna be running this sensor right here. That way you'll be able to run speed density. So once you run speed density, the turbo will be open. You don't have a MOF there or anything. So you really don't need the MOF for that. So that's the sensor you're gonna be running AEM. And the IoT sensors right here. I think that's it, man. So it's really simple. It's nothing complicated. It seems complicated, but that's all it is. If you guys need any have any questions, just ask. You go on my Instagram page again at Black Mamba Stealth. Hit me up on Instagram. Feel free to ask whatever question you want to ask. I also make turbo kits. This was the first one I made like this for my car. Obviously it wasn't the cleanest well, whatever, but again, it works. So this is the first one I had made for my car, but I made multiple kits for other people. I'm really busy. I also do towing. Also have a tow truck, so I'm really busy in that part. So whatever little free time I get, I try to work on my car or work on customer car. This car, I have to finish, and I have another one on the car cover, single turbo, twin turbo, but I still have to finish these. So I'm a little backed up, but I try to move as fast as I can. What else? But man, it's literally, that's it. Everything on this car I try to modify myself. The front lip wasn't even for this car, but I made it fit. I just wanted something different, you know. I didn't want something that everybody purchases for the same car. You go to a car show or car meet, all the three of us look the same way. I didn't want that, so scratch that. I did it different. I got these mirrors on here, carbon fiber, but it's not really carbon fiber. These are literally hydro dip. That's what it is. I did those mirrors, and I changed the hood to have a different hood on here. There's a Pit Road M hood. Shit weighed probably like not even 5 pounds. Shit is light. I did a little small cage in the car, nothing fancy. Just want to change up a bit. Try to make the car as light as possible. The next project I'm working on is the hatch. I have a fiberglass hatch that I made. It's not done yet, but it's gonna be going on soon. So I'm gonna do a fiberglass hatch, and I'm gonna do the Lexan windows for the back. That's the next thing I'm gonna do, and then I take it to the track. Yep. So that's it. I mean, if you guys want me to cover anything else, just let me know. I said I will break everything down to a bolt. I'll let you guys know how to do it or whatever. But it's not that complicated. Once somebody walk you through it, you're able to do it. I did all my powder coat myself, so all the intercooler pipings are all powder coated. I did all that myself. This is actually carbon fiber. I did this myself. It's not the prettiest. This is my first time ever attempt to do carbon fiber. So you can see all the little imperfections and stuff in there. I have another molding that I'm working on. But if you see it, it goes all the way through to the turbo. And I just need to put the cone here to get it right here. I just don't have the time, but I do the best I can. But this is actually a 91 Dodge Stealth. Doesn't look like a Stealth, but it is a 91 Dodge Stealth. Did a whole bunch of modification to this car. Everything that you could think of that could upgrade in this car, I did it. So I let y'all run out of options at this point. So all I do now is just drive it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe if this video was useful to you. If you guys need to know anything else, just feel free to ask. All right, peace.